Good day! Today, we will talk about Lesson 5 Music of the Baroque Period. Enumerate the important events during the Baroque period. Second, identify the characteristics of Baroque music. And lastly, show appreciation in the importance of the development of music genres during the Baroque period. Now let's have this activity. You will identify the following features below. You only have 1 minute to answer. Check your answers here. Identify what is being asked on each item below. Write your answer on the space provided before the number. Check your answers here. Next, let's see if you remembered our previous lesson. All you have to do is to classify the items in the back according to the historical period which they belong, and write the word in each column. Check your answers here. Lesson 5, Music of the Baroque Period. Music of the Baroque period, from 1600 to 1750. The word Baroque is derived from the Portuguese word barroco, which means pearl of the irregular shape. The term Baroque is used to describe a particular musical style of architecture popular between 1600 to 1750. George Frederick Handel, Johann Sebastian Bach, and Antonio Vivaldi are some of the great composers during this period. During this time, the art highlighted grandiose and elaborate music ornamentation. These were clearly seen in the musical compositions created by Baroque composers. We have different characteristics of Baroque music. First, melodies sound elaborate and ornamental. Melodies are not easy to sing or remember. Primarily, contrapuntal texture with some homophony. Dynamic contrast, alternation between loud and soft. Music genres, opera, oratorios, suites, toccatas, concerto grosso, fugue. Characteristics of Baroque music. Orchestra consists of strings and continuo. New forms: binary, ternary, ground bass. Fugue. Music genres of Baroque music. First is concerto, a form of orchestral music that employs a solo instrument accompanied by an orchestra. Concerto grosso, a form of orchestral music during the Baroque period wherein the music is between a small group of solo instruments called concertino and the whole orchestra called tutti. Fugue, a contrapuntal piece developed mainly by imitative counterpoint. It is usually written in 3 or 4 parts with a main theme called subject. Oratorio. It is a large-scale musical composition for orchestra and voices that incorporate narratives on religious themes. Unlike usual theatrical works, this is usually performed without the use of costumes, scenery, or action. It is usually written in the native language for the intended audience. Here are some of the examples of the composition. For Handel, we have the Messiah, Samson, Israel, and Egypt. For Bach, we have Christmas Oratorio. And for Haydn, we have the Creation. Chorale. It is a musical composition that resembles a harmonized version of hymnal tunes of the Protestant Church during the Baroque era. Don't forget to listen to the link below that features Vivaldi's Winter. And also listen to the link below that features Handel's Concerto Grosso for 2 violins, cello, strings, and basso continuo. To know if you really understand our lesson for today, let's have exercise self-check. We're going to encircle the letter, the correct answer on each item below. Number 1. A form of orchestral music that employs solo instruments accompanied by an orchestra. A. Madrigal, B. Cantata, C. Concerto. I'll give you 5 seconds to answer. Number 2. A musical composition that resembles a harmonized version of hymnal tunes of the Protestant Church during Baroque era. A. Choral, B. Mass, C. Madrigal. Number 3. What is a large-scale musical composition for orchestra and voices that incorporates narratives and relates themes? A. Oratorio, B. The Messiah, C. Four Seasons. The word Baroque came from the Portuguese word barroco, which means A. Pearl with irregular shape, B. Stone with a heart shape, C. Pearl with a regular shape. Number 5. A contrapuntal piece developed mainly by imitative counterpoint. It is usually written in 3 or 4 parts, with a main theme called subject. A. Oratorio, B. Choral, C. Fugue. Check your answers today. We will talk about Lesson 5 Music of the Baroque period, and we will describe the musical elements. Music genres, opera, oratorios, suites, toccatas, concertos. And for the additional information, did you know that new instrumental techniques and changes in musical notation were developed? Major and minor tonality was also created in this period. A lot of the musical terms and concepts that evolved in this era are still used today. Based on the music genre discussed, how the performers, setting, and the composition developed. Describe the process, how these new instrumental techniques and changes in musical notation are affecting from how we compose and sing today. Why was this development so important? To end our lesson, in a piece of paper, write the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. It is a Portuguese word barroco, which means A. Pearl of rectangular shape, B. Pearl of irregular shape, C. Pearl of no shape, and D. Pearl. Number 2. It is a contrapuntal piece developed mainly by imitative counterpoint. It is usually written in 3 or 4 parts, with a main theme called subject. A. Fugue, B. Oratorio, C. Choral, D. Concerto. Number 3. It is a form of orchestral music that employs a solo instrument accompanied by an orchestra. A. Fugue, B. Oratorio, C. Choral, D. Concerto. Number 4. It is a form of orchestral music during the Baroque period wherein the music is between a small group of solo instruments called concertino and the whole orchestra called tutti. A. Oratorio, B. Concerto grosso, C. Fugue, D. Concerto. Number 5. It is a large-scale musical composition for orchestra and voices that incorporates narratives on religious themes. A. Choral, B. Oratorio, C. Orambo, D. Fugue. Check your answers here. Thank you for watching. Stay home, stay safe. That in all things, God may be glorified.